everybody. Welcome to today's episode of The Daily Blend. I'm your host, AC. And today in studio with us, we have the producer and director of an amazing event that's coming up in Columbia called That's What She Said, Miss Allie Teagarden. Allie, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today, Adonica?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here.
So excited to talk to you about this event. You know, that's what she said. Like, we've heard the phrase. Tell me about That's What She Said, Columbia.
Yes. So That's What She Said, Columbia. This is the second year for the annual event that was really created to raise women's voices and provide just a night of empowerment and celebration of the incredible contributions of women in our local community. But That's What She Said is actually a national organization. So it's been around since 2013. And it was founded in Champaign-Urbana, Illinois by three women who were all moms of daughters. And they were just talking one evening while their girls played in the front yard about how they wanted their daughters to feel empowered and supported in whatever they chose to do in their lives moving forward, and really wanted them to be raised in a community that really empowered and celebrated them. And so they had this idea to get a group of women from the community, throw them up on stage at the historic theater downtown in their city, and give them about 7 minutes each to share a story from their life. So they thought it'd be kind of a one-time thing, and it was so well received by the community that it became an annual event in Champaign-Urbana, Illinois. And then in years since, it has now expanded into new communities across the country, primarily in the Midwest, but we are starting to kind of reach into the East Coast area, a little bit further south as well. So it's just a really incredible legacy that's been going on for over 10 years now, and I'm thrilled to have brought this to Columbia last year and really excited for our second production this April.
I'm really excited as well, and I got a chance to be in the audience last year and see it, and it was really amazing. What struck me, you know, your choice of women, like such a diverse lineup.
Yeah.
But last year you started with, you know, the three mayors, which was really an unbelievable thing to have, you know, two past mayors and the current mayor, you know, standing there on stage together talking. How do you, is it curated? How do you choose the speakers?
Yeah, so as director of the show, I am the one who selects the speakers for each year. So usually we're looking for about 8 to 10 women from here in the Columbia area. And it is an art for sure to find a diverse group of women and really looking at diversity in all aspects. So we want to have a wide age range within each cast. We want women from different cultural and racial backgrounds, women who are working in business, who own businesses, women working in the nonprofit world and education, women who represent the arts in different ways. So all these different areas and facets of life, and also looking at their personal histories as well. So we have women who are mothers, who are not mothers, who are stepmoms, women who are married, divorced, widowed, just all these different kind of life experiences, bringing them together and celebrating all these unique perspectives that women bring.
Yeah, you've got a wonderful cast this year.
We do.
I think we've got a photo of the cast this year, along with you and our amazing stage manager Barbie Banks. That's a great group of women, and you know what I see when I look in that photo and I see the Peggy Jean's Pies ladies.
Yes,
that 3 generations. That makes me very excited. I love hearing from them.
They're going to be a great time. And every year with each show, we usually try to have a duo or a trio. And so it's just really special that we're going to have 3 generations of women who run a successful, beloved business in our community. And I think they're going to have lots of laughs for the audience and just provide a really unique perspective as well on what their experience has been like running a business together.
Are there any like, what are the no-nos? You know, is there anything that a woman may want to talk about where you may have to say, no, that doesn't work? Or is it really just about whatever her story is?
Yeah, so it's really about each speaker's story. We avoid profanity, but outside of that, we're not a political organization. It's not an opportunity to talk about your religion in a direct way outside of how it's impacted your story, perhaps. So we're not promoting any specific thing for the women that are business owners. It's not an advertisement for their business. It's really about those personal stories. But outside of those parameters, I really leave it up to each speaker to determine what she wants to speak about that night in her 7 minutes of time. And I help support that story writing process in whatever way is helpful. Some speakers really write their stories start to finish and send me a draft, and I say, okay, great. And others really want some help kind of workshopping through it, maybe putting together some talking points or an outline, and then I kind of help them draft it out. So that process has looked different for every single speaker that I've had the privilege of working with.
Yeah, one thing that struck me as I have the privilege of being one of the speakers this year was that in the instructions, it said, make sure we have sometimes women, when we're talking and you're asked to talk about yourself, you will somehow divert and start to talk about other people, other people in your lives. But it was very specific. This is your story.
Right.
Make sure that it is about you, that it's not a motivational talk. You don't have to motivate the audience. Like, I find that very fascinating. And honestly, it's a little hard to do.
Right.
It's a little hard to do. Have you found that with speakers?
Absolutely. I think, a lot of the women that speak of this event, they are used to public speaking. A lot of times it is more of that kind of motivational or like a business how-to, or, they're experts in their fields, whether they're scholars or business leaders. So this is a very different experience for sure for our speakers to go through. One thing that I have to comment on almost on every story draft is don't introduce yourself. So everyone wants to say, hi, I'm Donica Coleman. And then at the conclusion of the story, the speakers always want to say thank you. And we're just so trained to do that in kind of professional public speaking situations. But with these stories, it's really just diving straight into your story, keeping it very centered on you as a person. And, certainly your relationships and other people that have impacted your life may come into play in that story itself. But I really work hard to encourage speakers to keep it very focused on their story, their perspective, and keeping it based around that.
I love that. So tell us very quickly before we go, give me the event details. Tell me the date, where it is, and where people can find tickets.
Absolutely. So the second annual That's What She Said Columbia will be on Saturday, April 13th at 7 p.m. at the Missouri Theater, so right here in downtown Columbia. And tickets are available online. Probably the easiest way, because it's kind of a long URL, the easiest way to find us is on Facebook at She Said Como, and you'll see the event page and the link to the ticketing website right there. So we definitely encourage folks to purchase tickets in advance, but we will sell tickets at the door as long as seats are available.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Oh, there's also an after party, just so you know.
Yes.
So if you look online on Facebook, you'll see the event and the event after party, and you want to be at that as well.
For sure.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Adonica.